Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a fun little video for you today. It's sizing up the AFC South Division season grades and predictions for 2023. It's the coach, it's Mike.
Yeah, we're going to be breaking down the South going from fourth all the way to first, the pick six style today, giving you a little bit of a breakdown of each and every team and what we think about them.
And last place, I promise you, is going to be a little surprise.
All right, so let's get started.
All right, starting off in last, or I guess our first team to go, is the Titans. The Titans have faced struggles in previous seasons, particularly with their wide receiver lineup. Not very smart to trade one of the best wide receivers to a competitor that's been to the Super Bowl, but hey, to each their own. Derrick Henry also remains a strong asset, but I think his best years are beyond him. And their defense has potential to improve, but I don't think it will be enough to be a playoff contender. I believe Henry's still a good player, but I think he's going to take a little bit of a step back this season. And my prediction is the Titans are they're gonna end up starting Will Levis by week 8 and just start looking into next season kind of mode in the second half of the season. That's why I give them a D grade, and I believe they will finish last in the division. Let's be honest, if you're a Titans fan, this squad needs a big rebuild, and it's time for the Derrick Henry era to end and the rebuild to begin.
All right, we have the Colts coming in at third in the division with a C-. And that's because this team is heavily dependent on Anthony Richardson's development into the NFL. The only chance they have is really going anywhere is if this guy is just a breakout star in year one. They have a few different weapons that hopefully he can get some chemistry with, but they have some obvious flaws that lead me to believe that they'll have some success through their defense and well-executed plays, maybe some boom or bust plays on offense. Overall, going to be a very mixed bag for Colts fans. Going to have a lot of Pat McAfee talking about struggles and being in a rebuild era, so look forward to that, folks.
Next one on our list is the Texans. We have them finishing second, and they come in at a C- as well, because we don't see any difference really between the Colts. We just think the Texans will have a little bit better record. That's all. The Texans, though, despite recent struggles, they've acquired some really good players in the draft. But if you're winning the draft, you're usually not winning on the field. They have C.J. Stroud at quarterback and Will Anderson. With an improved defense and a new coaching staff, they hope to compete in the division. Now, do I think the Texans are good? No. They will win 7 games at best. I just think the AFC South is terrible, and they will be better than the Colts and the Titans. That's all I think, really. Overall, C-, like I said. So we'll see a lot of improvements from last year, but they still have a long way to go, like in the fact that their wide receiver room has 0 proven number 1 wide receivers, and I think it might be a little tough time for C.J. Stroud, considering his college wide receiver room is probably better than his NFL one.
All right, we got the Jaguars topping off the AFC South, possibly one of the lower tier divisions in the league, if you might think about it. I think that the Jaguars look really good for being in Trevor Lawrence's third year, though. I think they need a bit of work perfecting his protection, but they have a great blend of run and pass with Etienne, as well as the recent addition of Calvin Ridley coming off of suspension, has me really believing in this team offensively. And they're going to go as far as this offense takes them. This defense can play like it did in the second half in the playoff upset against the Chargers. They'll look pretty scary, but I have to see it to believe it. So that's why we have them at a B+.
All right, moving on to some quick rapid-fire questions on the AFC South. The first question I have for you, Mike, is how many make the playoffs?
I say the only team with a chance to make the playoffs is the Jags. Everybody else is fighting for 500 or above 500 or just below 500, since that doesn't exist anymore. These teams are all in development or rebuild, whatever you want to call it. The Jaguars have a chance at possibly impressing in the playoffs if their defense gets with the offense and everybody starts driving like they were, and they take what they learned from last year and run with it. If they don't, then they're going to be just another team getting knocked out early on.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. It's the Jags are bust for this division. When it comes to playoff hopes and being able to do anything in the playoffs, and the Jags I think could make some noise, but I still think they're a ways away from being a Super Bowl contender. So I think we have progress from the Jags, maybe not see the progress with a win in the playoffs, but I think they're going to close the gap a little bit on the big kind of heavyweights of the AFC, but there's still a ways to go. The rest of the division is just terrible. Next question I have for you is players to watch. What is your player to watch?
I think the player to watch here is Anthony Richardson, because the Colts are going to be going as far as this guy takes them, and I really think that he could be a late pick fantasy, you know what I'm saying, as far as a quarterback that you take as your second guy super late. I forgot to take a quarterback and he might pan out situation, because this team's going to be passing a lot, and they're putting him in a position where he has a lot of responsibility. So is he going to fold? Is he going to perform? Is he going to carry this team? Or is he going to be just proven to be another physically talented guy that doesn't really pan out in the NFL?
No, yeah, I could see that. We'll have to wait and see when it comes to Anthony Richardson. I'm not as high on him as you are, but who knows? You never know with rookie quarterbacks. My guy to look out for is Travis Etienne. I know he had a really good year last year, but I think if the Jags want to take that next step, Trevor Lawrence made a huge progression his second full season in the NFL, and Etienne, this will be his second full season playing because of his injury. So I really want to see him take that next step and be one of those more elite running backs in the league, and I think he has the ability. So he's my player to watch because I think he can take the Jags to that next level. Next question, breakout players. What is your breakout player?
I really like Denzel Perryman. I think he's going to be a big breakout player, coming back from several injuries. He's been kind of an injury-plagued player, but when he's on the field, he shows an immense amount of talent. I think he's going to be a big addition to the development of this Texans team, and I think he'll still be of age when a lot of these rookie guys are developed and ready to go. So I think he'll be a big stalwart and kind of a middle veteran on this defense, and something to look out for.
Yeah, mine's going to have to be, my breakout player is John Michie. I mean, he didn't play last year. He had cancer. He's good now. He's healthy, which is an awesome story in itself. You know, he was a second-round pick, but he was a first-round talent. And I think he's just going to have to lead the wide receiver core, because the wide receiver core is not very good in Houston. So he's going to have every opportunity to do it. He has all the talent in the world. And I think he's just going to be a guy who's just going to break out and have a really good year. So I'll be rooting for him, and hopefully he's able to, you know, showcase his talents on the field. The next and last question we have is, any award winners? Any of these guys win any major awards?
I think Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year for C.J. Stroud. He has the opportunity to do it. You know, he's a high-pick quarterback with a team that, again, he's in a position where he's not in a great division, so he can get some good wins. He can really showcase his talents, really prove a lot of these haters wrong, that he stares down a lot of his routes and things like that, only goes with the first read. You know, a lot of these things that are being said can be proven wrong, and I think that can't happen. This is something that can be very possible.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I guess anytime you're a quarterback, you have a shot at winning Rookie of the Year. It's just the way it is. My pick is going to be Trevor Lawrence for MVP. I know he's not a favorite. Before y'all go to the comment section and call me an idiot, he's a dark horse, but I like him. You know, he's taken a huge step last year. If he takes another leap this year, Jags have a good year. They're in a bad division. He can win a lot of games. He can put up good numbers. They have a shot at being a really good regular season team. Maybe they could be like the Vikings of last year, where they have a really good regular season and just win a bunch of games because their schedule allows it. And he could be a benefactor of that and have a chance at winning an MVP. So do not count out Trevor Lawrence for the MVP. That's all I'm going to say. Do you agree with our, grades? Do you agree with our, picks and our predictions? Let us know in the comments. Give us a like and subscribe for more. Appreciate y'all, and see y'all next video. Peace.